Pisces doesn't live by a calendar, while Virgo absolutely does.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's another very clear way of like, this person is very strict and lives by the book, and this person doesn't even know what time is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
At all. Virgo typically just doesn't feel free unless there are rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They need that structure.
Exactly. That's when they feel like it's time to let loose. They check the time and they said it's time to let loose. And Pisces, if you tell them it's time to have fun, they're gonna be like, oh no, don't tell me what to do. I'm about to go cry. You know what I mean? Like, they don't like being told when it's time to do something. They need to make that decision by themselves, which is so funny. Because, you know, you look at Virgo and the Virgo and Pisces sister sign dynamic. Virgo is the one that's like, oh, I can't do that. Like, everyone knows Virgo is the one that's like, you know, they follow the rules. But if you really actually look at Pisceans, when they're told what to do, they get really, really annoyed.
Yeah, they do.
They get annoyed, much like a Virgo. What's good, you guys? It's your girl, Sarah.
And Lana.
And we're charmed and dangerous.
You know, because we're chatty.
And we dangerous, okay? Like, whoever's making these lists has a vendetta, at least.
Yes, against
like
one
or two.
Always becomes clear at the end of the
No,
list.
it really does, because it's like, oh. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or like one doesn't really hit.
At all.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it was really specific.
Yeah.
You guys know what we're talking about. If you're new here, subscribe, okay? And let's get into it. Okay, so basically this list is opposite signs, right? Usually we typically react to lists that are all the signs individually, but this one's just about opposite signs / sister signs in astrology. And we're gonna start with number 1, which is Aries and Libra. It says Aries creates chaos, Libra creates peace. Factual.
Yes, this is very true. I feel like though Aries thrives in chaos. You know,
They
so
do.
like they wouldn't be offended by you being like, "Oh, Aries creates chaos." They're like,
No,
"Yeah, I am
absolutely,
chaos,
yeah.
and I'm proud of it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the archetype of, like, you know, Mars. Mars is chaos. Mars is chaotic. And just like the opposite sign, Libra wouldn't do well in chaos, and Aries wouldn't do well in peace. Aries gets bored when it's peaceful.
Right.
Hence why they're always starting shit.
Right. Right. And you know, Aries, like I was saying, they thrive in chaos, right? And they are ruled by Mars, so they are a warrior, right? They are the fighters of the Zodiac. And what is the opposite of fighting? Peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I love that Libra, yes, they do try to create peace in everything that they do, and it is the polar opposite of Aries. I feel like Aries is always thinking about the self, and Libra is thinking about how everyone else can be calm and peaceful in the moment too. I feel like that's an opposite of them as well.
I mean, at the end of the day, with all of these signs, it's a balanced scale, you know? Like, you can't have one without the other. And typically, when you are a certain sign, or if you have a certain energy in your chart, you should look at your sister / opposite sign to see what kind of energy they hold. And yeah, you would probably do well to take in some of that energy. That's how you create balance in your life. Without one, there is no other.
Yeah.
Because it would just be that one thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, I actually feel like Libras get a bad rep for being the peacemaker. They're known to be fake. But at the end of the day, you need someone to create peace. Like, a world without Libras would be very chaotic. You know what I mean? Libras are the ones that are checking on people. Libras are seeing where there is unjust in the world and how they can create harmony with that. Like, it's really important to just look at every single sign and understand why they're needed in the world.
100%.
In the Zodiac wheel.
100%. And I feel like even thinking of the realm of like fighting, like you need a mediator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even in chaos, you need someone there to help settle the storm afterwards. Like you can't live in chaos forever, right?
Can't.
And you can't live in peace forever. That's why I love that all of these like really do show you the balance and why you need both of them in this world.
And like, just to talk about Aries for a second too, I feel like sometimes people are too scared to go after what they want. They're too scared to say what they want. And Aries doesn't give a fuck. Aries is always gonna aggressively go after what they want, say how they feel. And that's what, you know, Libra's scared of sometimes because they hate being judged. They want everyone to like them. Aries doesn't care. Aries goes for what they want. They stand in their power, in their full power, unapologetically. And I feel like that kind of energy is so beautiful, because in this day and age, especially with social media and everything, like people are just so easily blending into one another, because that's how you create peace. Like, yeah, I do that too. Oh, you do that too. Aries is the one that is willing to stand out, and even if they create war by standing out and choosing their truth, they don't care.
Right, at least they're getting things started too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are just sitting on their butt, and at least Aries is getting it moving. That's something that they also really care about.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I feel like Libra, being ruled by Venus, like, will sometimes sit and wait a little bit longer. You know what I mean? To figure out the perfect solution. And that's the opposite of Aries. Yeah. They just want to move fast and get it done. And there is a place for each of them in the world. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you just need to move quick, and sometimes you really do have to think out the solution, talk it out, and like, how can you handle it most gracefully?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Next, we have Taurus sees the beauty, and Scorpio sees ugliness.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like Taurus truly does see the beauty in everything. And you know, how often do we talk about, like, with Taurus, it's kind of hard for us to get them mad. Yeah. Like, they will see what they want to see, and they will choose beauty. You know what I mean? And Grace and Miss United States. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they will focus on the things that feel good. And Scorpio, typically, we tend to focus on the things that make us feel bad. Like, because that is what we see. That's how we perceive the world. We see it through the eyes of, this is what's wrong with the world. This is what's wrong with this. This is me when I was in pain. This is you when you're in pain. Like, that's the first thing we notice, actually, is people in pain and situations that are painful. Yeah. Because that's how we have, you know, seen the world through our own eyes. We've experienced deep, deep pain. So how can we not notice that as, like, the first thing that we see in the world? Yeah. You know? Seeing
the realness. I mean, often, like you said, like, Scorpios are connecting to people often because of their sad or darker times, right? Yeah. Like, that's when they really bond with you. Yeah. And I feel like they see, it's funny because I feel like Scorpio sees the beautiness in the ugly, though. Yeah, you know what absolutely. I mean? So it's like, yes, they see the ugly, but they appreciate it like no other sign does. Like, they actually kind of love the ugly. They want to know you're ugly, right? And I feel like Taurus can be kind of scared of the ugly on the opposite hand, right? Like, it can almost get to like a delusional state of like, I only want beautiful things and perfect things around me.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I feel like sometimes for Taurus, it's kind of hard for them to have these moments of like conflict resolution, because like sometimes they just don't even want to see the other side because it's too ugly. Yeah. Like, that's why it's hard to talk to Taurians about things that you disagree with. You know what I mean? Because it's like they don't have that fight in them. They're like unwilling, like, you know, Venus doesn't want to fight. Venus doesn't want to fight. And like, Scorpio's the opposite. Like, I want to fight. Like, you fighting with me shows that you care. How can you not want to fight? Yeah. Let's fight for something. Let's be passionate about something. And I feel like at the end of the day, yeah, there's a fine line between love and war, you know? And I would say that is the perfect saying for Scorpio and Taurus. You know, like, Taurus will see the ugly once they're, you know, reach that point of like no return. And Scorpio, like we talked about, oh, it's ugly, but goddamn, it's so real and ugly that it's fucking beautiful. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there is always that fine line for all of these signs too. And I feel like, yeah, at the end of the day, as a Scorpio, we tend to actually be gravitating towards things that are ugly because we want to understand it. Sometimes I feel like when things are beautiful, you know, it's over the surface. Oh, it's so beautiful. What else is there for me to know? Everyone's obsessed with it already because it's fucking beautiful. I tend to like things because it's something that is yet to be understood. There is more to it than meets the eye. You know, and that's the thing with Scorpio, Taurus. Taurus decides whether they like things very easily. For us Scorpios, like, how many times do I say we get obsessed really quickly? So like, we need to figure out if we're getting obsessed with the right thing. Right. So it takes us more time. I want to understand your pretty side and your ugly side. Right. You know? Yes.
Yes. And I feel like sometimes Taurus will suffer because they maybe don't always dig deeper into it. They're stuck at the beautiful face value of it. And then I feel like they can be unhappy sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong, I love that they see the beauty in everything. You know what I mean? And they know how to beautify and find the grace in things. You know what I mean? And that is really important and valuable in life. But sometimes I feel like Taurus they feel stuck because they are almost, like I said earlier, like delusional about everything always having to be beautiful or always being beautiful, because that's not really the case.
I feel like on the other end with Taurus, sometimes they are very, very happy, because they can look over that annoying shit. You know, I've noticed that with Tauruses, they sometimes don't need much to feel happy.
No, it's so
and I guess as a Scorpio, sometimes I'm envious of that, because if you guys have nice things and you can be content really easily.
Right, and
sometimes I have to dig deeper, and sometimes maybe what I'm finding when I dig deeper is painful. Like, it's like fucking painful, because it's ugly.
Yeah.
But like, I chose to do it because it's in my nature to dig deeper. So I feel like we could learn that from Taurus too, is like sometimes take things as face value. You don't have to dig deeper. Mm-hmm. You know?
Mm-hmm. Or tear it apart, try to find the ugly of it. Like, just appreciate what is in front of you.
We love tearing shit apart.
Yeah.
I can put it back together. Okay, next we have Gemini and Sag. It says Gemini is bored, Sagittarius is passionate.
Damn. I feel like that's kind of fucked up to say Gemini is bored. I feel like Gemini gets bored.
Yeah.
Very easily.
True. Yeah.
You know, but because they have so much going on in their mind, I feel like it's hard to really keep them entertained.
I would say so.
Sense.
I think whoever made this doesn't like Gemini.
Yeah.
Gemini is the most smartest. I think Gemini is one of the most smart signs in the entire zodiac. So what I would give Gemini is curious. Mm-hmm. You know, Gemini's curiosity never dies.
Mm-hmm. And to say that they're bored or like only Sagittarius is passionate isn't fair, because like Geminis get very curious and passionate and animated about things too. So I feel like I don't agree that Gemini is bored.
Because
like
if you could say bored. Gemini gets bored, Sag gets bored.
Yeah, I know.
How many times has Sag dropped shit that they're doing much like their sister sign Gemini?
We're both mutable. We get over things very quickly. So like you could say that easily about Sagittarius too. I did like that they said that Sag is passionate though, because I feel like that's an adjective that isn't really used often to describe Sag.
It's not.
But I feel like we are very passionate people. We get very excited about the topics that we're talking about. Like, yes, we can move on from them quickly, but we do get very fiery and like kind of have a no bullshit attitude when we're delivering it. And I feel like that to me is another kind of description of passion when someone's talking about what they care about. You know what I mean?
I feel like Sag has moments of passion that are not long-standing, but very small ones throughout their life. Because I feel like people think of passion as something that is long-standing, and you can have like little moments of passion and still be a passionate person. Like y'all's reactions to things are very passionate. You know? And I feel like maybe that's why you don't hear the word passionate associated with Sag often, is because you guys aren't loyal to things for a long time. But I don't think that's a good enough reason to take away the passion that lives within you guys.
Right, because we do get very excitable about it and can talk about it for an extended period of time. Obviously not forever, you know what I mean? But for that day, for that week, whatever it is. Like, if we feel passionate about it, we will bring that fire passion.
Oh, honey,
we'll go to town and preach for you all day long.
I know it. Don't I know it? And then, Gemini, I can see why they said Gemini is bored, because Gemini's brain is, the space that Gemini has in their brain is like infinite. So like 500 different hobbies, give it to me, baby. Like, I got you. But I feel like sometimes Gemini is known to drop things too soon because they get bored. Because they're ready for something exciting, something new. That's why I chose the adjective curious for Gemini, is because I feel like Gemini is always willing, like I said, to pick up a new hobby, learn about a new subject. They meet people, they're so fascinated by them. A lot of people, y'all, 90% of people, I want to say, when they meet new people, all they want to talk about is themselves. This is what I do, this is who I am. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, let's talk about me. I would say Gemini is one of those signs that wants to learn about you, wants to understand you. Why are you the way that you are?
Very good at asking questions.
Very good at asking questions. Like, they're typically one of the people that like you feel like they're interested in you romantically, but really they're just like, they're fascinated by you because you're just a new human that they met.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, they're just trying to get new information out of you. They don't really care about you.
No, it's like you're like a new test subject to them. They just want to understand why you are the way that you are. Subject A4B.
Next, we have Cancer brings us together, and Capricorn takes us apart.
Okay, I see why it says Cancer brings us together, because, you know, Cancer is tied to that family energy of the home and like your roots and, you know, the people that make you feel safe, you know. the theme of bringing people together.
Yeah.
The Capricorn one, I don't really understand.
Yeah.
Because I could see like Capricorn has this kind of like about their career. They don't necessarily need to feel connected to people because they got to get their shit together. But I still, as a Capricorn rising placement myself, I don't like the fact that they said Capricorn takes us apart. I feel like it doesn't make any sense to me, but I would like to hear what you say.
Yeah, I feel like Cancer definitely brings people together. And the way that I thought of like the opposite of Capricorn taking people apart is like, to me, Capricorn, they set boundaries, right? And I feel like quite literally when you set boundaries, that can create like a separation between people. Not to say that they're intentionally doing it, and I feel like boundaries are so necessary, but that's not something that Cancer does so well. So maybe that's really what they're more touching on, of like, Cancer doesn't maybe have as many boundaries, so it allows people to come closer together. And I feel like Capricorn has a lot of boundaries, so maybe people are perceiving it as that pulls you further apart. Does that make sense? That's kind of how I
could see that. And I guess something maybe I'm thinking of now is that like Capricorn maybe wants to know who they are without people.
Yeah.
And I feel like in life, a lot of people feel more comfortable with their community. And I guess Capricorn doesn't really, even though it's healthy to need people, Capricorn, I feel like Capricorn maybe thrives alone sometimes. Much like Scorpio. Like we can be we can do our best work when we're alone.
Definitely.
So I could see that too, because you know, they do say you get lonely at the top.
No, it's true. I feel like Capricorn.
I'm pretty sure actually I named that our Capricorn roast.
Yes.
I said lonely at the top, Capricorn. Ah, yes.
Yes. And I feel like it's true because Cancer, like, they really want to be around their family and in their community. And Capricorn is totally okay being alone and doing it alone until they find a worthy partner.
Absolutely. And I feel like they don't trust people easily either. So they don't want to be tied. You ain't gonna tie me down. They don't want to be tied down by their vulnerabilities, you know? When you are trying to climb the ladder, whichever it may be, you climb a lot of ladders, Capricorn. I feel like at the end of the day, if you have vulnerabilities with people in your life, whether it's friends, romantic partners, family, you may not put your best work out if you're emotionally tied to so many people. And I think Capricorn understands that and appreciates that, hence coming back to the boundaries thing. If you set good boundaries, people that are close to you, they won't be able to affect your climb to the top. If that makes sense to the people.
I feel like it makes sense to me. So. Okay, I do want to say one thing though. I feel like Capricorn really gets this rep, especially with kind of like the statement that maybe they're not giving or generous, but they are very generous signs, like when they feel you are worthy and like you are in their circle, you know. So I feel like Capricorns always gets this rep of like, oh, they're not familial, or they're not like as community oriented as their opposite sister sign Cancer. And obviously they're not exactly, but they are still very family oriented. You know, and that's not something that we often hear about of Capricorns
at all. You know? I mean, if you just think about even Cancer and Capricorn, what they're known to be, the mother and
Mommy
the father of the Zodiac. And you know, every family's different, but typically the mom is the one that's available emotionally more, brings everyone together. But that doesn't mean the dad, like I said, in typical families, isn't holding the family together. They're just doing it in a very different way. They're providing, they're creating safety. You know what I mean? They're making sure everyone feels comfortable in a very different way, but still putting in the work to keep that family together. So I think people need to understand that aspect of Capricorn energy too. Like, it's very masculine energy, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't bring people together in its own way.
Right.
Next we have a Leo and Aquarius. It says Leo shows us the heart, Aquarius shows us the mind.
Yes. I mean, I don't feel like I've ever seen a Leo do something like half-assed.
No.
You know, I feel like they always come with their full heart and like intention to show up.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And if anyone wants to like, figure out what passion and like fire is, look to a Leo, because they're always, I feel like, leading with their heart in that sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I don't know, like sometimes some of these lists, I'm like, I don't know, like some of them are just too easy. Leo shows us the heart, Aquarius shows us the mind. Okay, yeah, Aquarius is an air sign just like Libra and Gemini. Like, I feel like it's not specific enough for me.
Yeah.
And like, Aquarius shows us the mind. No, I feel like it should have been something more about the community.
Yeah.
Like what you can do for yourself. Like Leo shows us self-love. Aquarius shows us love for the community. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the heart and the mind, like that's just, you could have said that about a lot of other sides. You could have said that about Virgo and Pisces.
Yeah, I feel like
for me,
Aquarius
it's very,
is
very
weak.
basic.
Yeah, it's weak for sure. Aquarius shows us the mind. Like, yes, they're intelligent, but I feel like I wouldn't give them like they're the rulers of the mind in the zodiac.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And,
like,
I mean, if anything, like I could. If we're talking about the mind, it could be Gemini and Virgo too.
Yeah,
you
that's
know what I mean?
would have. Yeah.
I feel like, and sometimes Aquarius gets too in their head. You know what I mean? Their mind constricts them sometimes.
Yes.
That's why I wish they would have tied it something to the community, because I feel like Aquarius just has a really, really nice way of including everyone and understanding what is beneficial for the community rather than for the self. Whereas for Leo's really good about that self-love shit, self-care shit. Like, what do you need to do for yourself? I can see that why it's still heart-centered.
Yeah.
Because unlike Aries being about the self, I feel like Leo is very heart-centered about the self. Whereas Aries is very much like, what do I need to do in this very moment to go after what I want?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Leo is like, what do I need to do in this very moment to feel good about what I want? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Different motives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Aquarius, on the other hand, is like, what do I need to do to feel good about being in this community?
Yeah.
You know, if I were to make a decision selfishly, I wouldn't feel good. Leo, typically, if they make a decision and they feel good, they're okay with it.
Yeah.
You know? That's the energy, and that's why they're called selfish sometimes, but they're doing what feels good to them.
Yeah. I feel like you're also getting at the heart of something else, that both of these signs are very preoccupied with how other people see them, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Actually, yes.
And
absolutely.
so, like, Leo worried about self-love and like how they're portraying themselves and like how they look and stuff like that, and then Aquarius like always wanting to portray like this individualistic, like I'm a free thinker kind of mind, you know, so they're both always preoccupied with that.
I could so see that. And it's funny that, you know, Aquarius is thinking so much about like, oh, I'm an individual, you can't change me, but like they still think so much about the community and how it's affecting the world.
Yeah.
It's like they want everyone to be okay, but also I'm not a part of everyone.
Right. It's like they want to make everything okay so everyone can be an individual living in their own way.
Exactly.
Next, we have Virgo restricts themselves while Pisces lets loose.
I like this one.
I like this one.
I like this one a lot because yes, absolutely. Virgo is the king. They're the king and queens of like, am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Should I be? Do I deserve it?
Right.
You know? And Pisces is like, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever the fuck I want. In my dream world, in my reality, at work, at home, in the shower, like, you know what I mean? They don't care.
Yeah.
They're gonna do what they want to do if it feels right.
Yes.
And typically it feels right all the time. I can't remember the time it felt wrong for you guys.
Right. No, I feel like Pisces has this like infinite like kind of possibilities type of energy.
All of the above energy.
Yes. And so they just want to like get lost in it, you know what I mean? I feel like all Pisceans want to go like la 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 through like a forest.
Yeah.
You know? And just forget about their responsibilities. And to me, that's like the exact opposite of a Virgo. They always are thinking about their responsibilities and having to live within their means and like what task is up next. And like, yeah, that type of thinking is very restrictive. Like
they
Pisces,
constrict themselves.
Yeah, like Pisces doesn't live by a calendar while Virgo absolutely does. Yeah. You know, and I feel like that's another very clear way of like, this person is very strict and lives by the book, and this person doesn't even know what time is. You know what I mean?
At all. Virgo typically just doesn't feel free unless there are rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They need that structure.
Exactly. That's when they feel like it's time to let loose. They check the time and they said it's time to let loose. And Pisces, if you tell them it's time to have fun, they're gonna be like, oh no, don't tell me what to do. I'm about to go cry. You know what I mean? Like, they don't like being told when it's time to do something. They need to make that decision by themselves, which is so funny. Because, you know, you look at Virgo and the Virgo and Pisces sister sign dynamic. Virgo is the one that's like, oh, I can't do that. Like, everyone knows Virgo is the one that's like, you know, they follow the rules. But if you really actually look at Pisceans, when they're told what to do, they get really, really annoyed.
Yeah, they do.
They get annoyed, much like a Virgo. You know? You think you can tell them what to do because it's Pisces, but it's like that little Virgo energy kicks in for Pisces when you tell them what to do. They're like, oh no. at all. I'm gonna go escape to dreamland where I can do what I want.
Right. It's like, you know, not abiding to those plans.
Yeah, they're a little stubborn in that way, but no one talks about it. But I've noticed it for a long time. I just feel like they hate being told what to do,
and they play it off really well.
They do. They're like, oh, it's fine. I fucking hate it. You killed my dream.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode on the opposite signs. Comment down below if you agreed with your sign and the opposite sign. If you didn't, say the word that you think that
most resembles you.
Yes, let us know in the comment section. Okay, we're gonna link our socials somewhere around here. Don't forget, we post our videos every Monday and Thursday, and our podcast goes live every Friday.
Yeah,
we love you.
We love you. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.